Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today in this video, we are going to learn a very important basic topic, which is the hemopoiesis, blood composition and its functions. Don't worry, I will also write the same points that I explain here so you can use these notes directly for your exams to score well. So let's start the topic in a simple, clear and easy to understand way. So, before knowing the composition of blood, we need to know what is hemopoiesis. Hemopoiesis, or it is also called as hematopoiesis. So, hem means blood, poiesis means to make. So, it is simply the process of formation of blood cellular components is called as hemopoiesis. So, it is basically derived from the hematopoietic stem cell. So, and an adult person will approximately have 10 to the power of 11 to 10 to the power of 12 new blood cells produced every single day. So these are mainly essential to maintain the steady state levels. So let me just repeat this for you once again. So hemopoiesis is also called as hematopoiesis. So it is hem means blood, poiesis means to make. It is simply the process of formation of blood components. So blood cellular components, and these are mainly derived from the hematopoietic stem cell, and an average adult person will approximately have 10 to the power of 11 to 10 to the power of 12 new blood cells which are produced every single day, and these are useful for maintaining the steady state levels in the body. So previously we have discussed that these are mainly derived from the hematopoietic stem cells. So these are further divided into three different things. First one is lymphoid, second one is myeloid, and third one is erythroid. So in erythroid is simply it is seen in the bone marrow where it has megakaryocyte and RBC. From this we will be having from the megakaryocyte the platelets will be formed. And next one is lymphoid. Lymphoid is further divided into B cell, T cell and NK cell. NK cell is nothing but the natural killer cell, and these are mainly useful for immunity. And next one is myeloid cell. These are further divided into the neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils, dendritic cells, mast cells and macrophages. Now let's get into the blood composition. So before knowing the blood composition, let us know its properties. So first thing is it is a fluid connective tissue and it is having a bright red color. It is mainly derived from the mesoderm and it is having a pH of 7.4. And coming to its nature, it is slightly alkaline and viscous in nature. And an average adult will be having 5 liters of blood in his body. So, initially, to know the blood composition, we will be taking some amount of blood, and this is kept for the process of centrifugation. So, centrifugation is a process where the blood components will be separated. So, once the blood gets centrifugated, this will be divided into different layers. So, one is the high density layer, and the other one is low density layer. So, the high density layer will be below, and low density layer will be above. So, this above one, which is floating, we will be calling it as a plasma. And the high density layer generally contains the blood cells. So, this is called as the RBC. And the middle layer, which is white color, and it is called as a buffy coat. So, here we will be having 45 percentage of RBC, then 55 percentage of plasma, and this buffy coat mainly contains WBC and platelets. So this is the complete composition of the blood. Initially, the whole blood is of 8 percentage and the other fluids and tissues will be of 92 percentage. And these are further divided into two main thing. One is plasma, which is 55 percentage, and formed elements, which are 45 percentage. And this plasma is again divided into three. So in plasma, 91.5 percentage will be of water, and 7 percentage it will be proteins, and remaining 1.5 percentage contains other solutes. And coming back to the formed elements, so this will be having RBC, WBC and platelets, and try to remember these values. Now try to note down the functions of each component. So Coming to the proteins, so we are having three different things in it. First one is fibrinogen. So fibrinogen, it is mainly of 7% and it is useful for blood clotting because this is one of the clotting protein. And second thing is albumin, which is of 54% and this will be useful for maintaining the osmotic pressure. And the third one is globulin, which is of 38%. This is mainly useful in the process of immunity and this will be useful for producing the antibodies. Coming to other solutes, we have electrolytes, and electrolytes are generally useful for the fluid balance. Nutrients are mainly useful for providing energy and they are useful for the gases transportation. They are useful for removing the waste materials. Any kind of nitrogenous waste will be removed, and this also contains certain regulatory substances. Now coming back to the formed elements, the first one is RBC. RBC is also called as erythrocyte. So this main function is that it will be useful for carrying oxygen and for removing the carbon dioxide. So it carries oxygen from the lungs to the tissues. And the second one is WBC. It is also called as leukocyte. Leukocyte is something that is useful for fighting the infections, that is useful for providing the immunity. And this last one is the platelets. So platelets are generally useful for two main functions. First one is for the blood clotting, second one is to prevent the bleeding. The platelets will be used, and these leukocytes are further divided into different elements. The first one is neutrophils. So what is neutrophils? So whenever an injury or any kind of foreign substances enter into our body, the first responders in our body, or the first line defenses would be the neutrophils, because they will be identifying the bacteria, kill the bacteria by the process of phagocytosis. So phagocytosis is simply the process where the foreign material will be engulfed. So that's why these neutrophils will be of 60 to 70 percentage, because these are the first responders. And the second one is the lymphocytes. Lymphocytes are generally of 20 to 25 percentage. These are useful for providing the antibodies and they helpful for maintaining the immune memory. And the third one is monocytes, and monocytes are of 3 to 8 percentage. These are mainly, this monocytes will be converting into macrophages. These macrophages, they are useful for removing the dead cells or pathogens from the body. And the fourth one is eosinophils, which are of 2 to 4 percentage. Eosinophils will be useful for fighting against the different types of parasites. And the last one is basophils. Basophils are 0.5 to 1 percentage only, because these will be useful for releasing the histamine. They release histamine. They will be useful for causing the inflammation and also gives the allergic response. So these are few important functions of these components. I hope you have made a note of it. So these are some specific important functions of each components of blood. I hope you have made a note of it before. But if you have missed any point, so please check it here and you can take a screenshot of it and use it for your exams. So these are some other important functions of blood. First thing is, it is mainly useful for maintaining the homeostasis and osmolarity. Homeostasis is simply the maintenance of balance in the body. Second thing is, it is useful for controlling the body temperature. That means the circulating blood will be useful for controlling the body temperature. Then it is useful for the transportation of various gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide entire body. And then it is also useful for transporting some other nutrients, hormones, for different metabolic processes. And it is also useful for correcting the metabolic waste from cells and tissues. From there it transports into the excretory organs. From the excretory organs, they will be getting filtered and they are sent out of the body by the process of excretion. And if you look at the functions, they will be almost similar for every component. So they are almost common for every blood component. Like some are useful for blood clotting, some are useful for defense mechanism, some act as carriers, some act as enzymes, some will be transporting the nutrients, hormones, some will be removing the waste materials from the body. So this will be some common functions. So you can include everything in this. So that is all about the hemopoiesis, blood composition, and the functions. I hope the explanation was clear and helped you understand it better. And remember, the notes I wrote during the explanation contains the exact points you need to write for your exams. So make sure you revise them. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Pharma Palette. See you all in the next video, and thanks for watching.